This is the iPad 8 Gen. I had this iPad for 4 months now and I think it's a good time for a review. The main difference between this iPad and the previous generation is the A12 Bionic chip, which makes this generation 40% faster CPU and 2 times faster graphics performance. The price starts at £329 or $329 for the base 32GB Wi-Fi only model, and £429 or $429 for the 128GB Wi-Fi only model. The 32GB is not a lot of storage, so once you start using the iPad you quickly realize you are running out of space. So it would have been nice to see the base model have 64GB rather than 32. Just a quick run through of the design. It has an aluminium and glass body, which is great to hold on to as it is very slim and lightweight. The bezels are very visible as the design of the iPad hasn't really changed a lot over the years, which is not a bad thing, but it started to look dated. The Touch ID is here, which is great. It has a lightning connector. It would have been better to see a USB-C as it would be easier for file transfers. It has a smart connector for compatible keyboards. It has a 10.2-inch Retina display, 2160 by 1620 at 264 ppi. The screen is not laminated like the more expensive iPad Pros, so there is a small gap between the screen and the glass, but I really don't mind this as the screen looks great. It has an 8-megapixel rear camera, which isn't the best, but for quick snaps it's there. It has a 1.2 megapixel front facing camera, and it has a headphone jack, which is nice to see. Because of the A12 chip, this iPad can handle a lot more than the previous generation without any drop in frame rate or lag. And when this is teamed up with the iPad OS, you get a very nice user experience. Multitasking with split screen is great, and most apps now support this. It is so good just to pick up this iPad and do some reading, browsing, as the size is perfect, not too small and not too big. I edited raw photos without any problems, and I also done some video editing with 4K footage again without any problems. And when doing photos and video editing, I use the Apple Pencil 1st Gen, which is supported on this iPad, which I think is great. It makes everything easier and faster. And also using the Apple Pencil when taking notes is an absolute pleasure. The only limitation / frustrating thing I came across using this iPad was the storage. So I would recommend going for the 128GB personally, but the 32GB will be fine for most users. Talking about limitations, this iPad does have them, but if there wasn't any limitations and this was the perfect all-around iPad, there will be no need for the more expensive iPads. If you are planning on doing a lot of video and photo editing, I would recommend you look at the iPad Air or the iPad Pro. But if you want to do some light photo and video editing, then this iPad is more than capable. For students, younger kids, and those that just want an iPad for browsing, media consumption, taking notes, drawing, Word, Excel, gaming, this is the perfect iPad for you. Just want to say, if you guys are enjoying this video, please subscribe and hit that bell icon. Because this iPad was released in 2020, you should be getting all the iPad OS updates for the next 5 years, so you'll be getting all the new features as they are released. So in conclusion, this is a great iPad for an absolute great price. It may not have all the bells and whistles of the more expensive iPads, but for $329 you're getting a great device you can use for work and pleasure. It would have been great to see the base model have 64GB of storage, USB-C charging point, smaller bezels, but we can only hope for these in the next gen. Just wanted to say thank you for joining me and hope to see you guys in the next video.